The question is that this bill be now agreed to in principle. I call the member for Balmain.
No, it alternates.
Right.
It alternates.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. I rise to speak on behalf of the Greens on the ICAC Public Interest Disclosures Cognate Bill. First of all, I acknowledge the work of the Parliamentary Committee on ICAC and the recommendations that flowed from the work of that committee, chaired by the member for Mount Druitt, which informed a great deal of the bills that we see before us today. The first bill strengthens both the Independent Commission Against Corruption and the Inspector of the Independent Commission Against Corruption. The bill gives the Commission power to gather and provide evidence to the Director of Public Prosecutions for use in prosecutions after the discontinuance or completion of its investigations. It broadens the powers of the Inspector by enabling the Inspector to report to Parliament at any time on any matter relating to the exercise of the Inspector's principal functions. It also importantly opens up the use, publication and communication of protected information for the purpose of the Inspector's functions with regard to surveillance devices. The bill also permits a person who has been summoned to appear at a compulsory examination or public inquiry for the purpose of producing a document or a thing, to produce the document or thing without appearing if excused from appearance by the Commission. The bill prevents the Industrial Relations Commission from dealing with an application under Part 6 unfair dismissals of Chapter 2 of the Industrial Relations Act 1996 by an officer of ICAC whose employment is terminated by the Commissioner. And this is one point, Mr Deputy Speaker, that we Greens would like to ask the Minister to address. I understand this provision. There's 5 more upstairs. Don't worry.
Order. Would the members and Minister mind directing their comments through the chair, please?
Forgive me, Mr Deputy Speaker. Forgive me, but I'm tall enough for 2. So the reason why we asked the Minister to address this issue is that in the other place the Greens will be looking to negotiate with the government and crossbenchers to see if the amendment which denies ICAC employees from recourse to the IRC for unfair dismissal should remain in the bill. It's our view that all employees, including ICAC employees, should have recourse to the Industrial Relations Commission in the matter of unfair dismissal. The Public Interest Disclosures Bill includes the Information Commissioner on the Public Interest Disclosures Steering Committee, which was set up last year to oversee the implementation of the Principal Act. The bill further requires each public authority to provide quarterly data to the Ombudsman on the authority's competence. The bill requires that each public authority's public interest disclosures policy provides that a person who makes a public interest disclosure to the authority is to be given a copy of the policy and acknowledgement of the receipt of the disclosure within 45 days of having made the disclosure. All positive and valuable contributions, Mr Deputy Chair. The bill also, Deputy Speaker, the bill also expands the matters in respect of which the public interest disclosures may be made to the local government investigating authority in relation to local government. And as many of us, Mr Deputy Speaker, have had an involvement in local government, these provisions are also welcome and worthwhile. This, of course, includes corrupt conduct, maladministration, government information contraventions and local government pecuniary interest contraventions. The bill also implements the recommendations from 2 reports released in 2010, as I mentioned at the outset of my speech, by the Parliamentary Joint Standing Committee on the ICAC, which are supported by the Independent Commission Against Corruption Commissioner, as well as 2 more recent requests for amendments by the Commissioner. And it seems to we Greens, Mr Deputy Speaker, that these are very worthwhile and demonstrate the effective work that members can have in committees which aren't overly politicised, which can make a positive contribution to the development of organisations such as ICAC. We support both of these bills as vital measures aimed at improving accountability and ethical standards in administration, and we welcome the fact that the Minister has brought these bills on. We support laws that further empower ICAC to provide it with more authority to perform its important role as a corruption watchdog. And we've seen a number of high-profile instances of corrupt behaviour or of people who blew the whistle on corrupt or incompetent behaviour during the last 16 years of the former government, but also in many other instances. There's a long and honourable tradition of whistleblowing in Australia, and we Greens support strong whistleblower legislation as an essential element of a functioning and vibrant democracy. Good governance requires a robust system of accountability mechanisms, and this legislation acknowledges the important role that whistleblowers play in exposing corrupt and incompetent behaviour by public officials and thereby improving public administration. We also note that the creation of ICAC was a result of the positive collaboration and dialogue between a former Liberal government and the independents crossbenchers, and it therefore reflects the importance of such constructive cooperation between governments, oppositions and crossbench members. As I mentioned before, the Greens in the other place will be seeking to negotiate with the government and crossbench members in order to amend the legislation, the proposed bill, to remove the unnecessary clause that takes away the rights of ICAC employees to seek recourse to the Industrial Relations Commission in relation to unfair dismissal. We also note that there's no reason why the government would remove the basic right of workers, and we don't believe that that right should be undermined, even though it has been existing for some time. And in our view, the legislation would not be weakened if this clause was removed, and protection for ICAC employees under the Industrial Relations Commission against unfair dismissal would not be a negative element for this bill, nor would it water it down. So I call on the Minister to address this matter in his reply, and can I conclude by saying that we commend this bill to the House and we look forward to its implementation. Thank you.